it's particularly alarming when you consider their play against guys that are getting their first NFL starts in recent weeks. Guys like Sam Howell and Josh Dobbs. Hey, back it up even to Davis Mills when they played Houston. The Cowboys defense has allowed 10 more points per game and registered 2.8 fewer sacks per game over their last 5. Defensively, the loss of their 2 starting corners this year put them in a pinch, and it didn't help last week when rookie Deron Bland went down after a particularly good year. Now, the good news for the Cowboys is they're getting some players back. Deron Bland returned to practice, as well as linebacker Leighton Vander Esch, who head coach Mike McCarthy described as their quarterback on defense. He wears the green dot, and that will help free up guys like Jaron Kearse again. We could also see newly acquired Xavier Woods worked into the mix. He got acclimated a bit in practice last Saturday. He's expected to get a lot more reps in practice this week. But you talk to any of these players and the coaches around this building, and they'll tell you it's less about beating Tom Brady and more about not beating themselves. The Cowboys did that and then some when they failed in all 3 phases against Washington last Sunday.
Perfectly said there by James Slater. Right, back with Michael Robinson and Brian Baldinger. So Cowboys Bucks Monday night, that closes out Super Wildcard Weekend for us. And James said it right there. They've been struggling offensively. On the defensive side of the ball, there's been a slide as well. Lots to clean up before they face Brady and the Bucks. Can you take us to the film room, guys?
Mike, I know I can get Mike.
Man, let's go, man.
Listen,
all right.
You got some things that need to be cleaned up, right, Mike?
Yes, it is a lot of things that need to be cleaned up, and everybody's been talking about Dak Prescott, but you've seen some things defensively, Baldy.
Mike, let's just start on the defensive side, right?
Okay.
There, because see, like this position right here has been a revolving door. Once Jordan Lewis went down,
Trayvon Diggs. Correct.
Trayvon Diggs, like he's solid over there, okay? But if you watch this play right here, like this, I don't even have to mention names, but there's a 10-yard cushion for this guy, Terry McLaurin. And we know that Terry has got, like, go speed. Now, right here, like, Trayvon Mullen, he's already on his horse, all right? But this is a problem because they've been running by the left corner now for the last month, all right? It's been a problem. That's 52 yards right there, Mike. That's an issue that they got to get cleaned up before Monday night because you know Mike Evans and Tom Brady looking at that position. They want to go after it.
Absolutely. They're going to want to go after it. Now, I did mention Dak Prescott. Now, Dak Prescott got some issues, too. It seems like to me, Dak has to get out of his own head, Baldy. It seems like Dak is putting unneeded pressure on himself. First of all, you see right here is a double slide. You got 2 receivers up top, 2 receivers down the bottom. You got Dak in the shotgun. Just look at this play right here. I want everybody to just watch the top receiver for the Dallas Cowboys right here is C.D. Lamb. Look at the space around C.D. Lamb. All C.D. Lamb is doing is waiting for another receiver to clear so that he has a choice route.
He's slow playing it, Mike. He's slow playing it.
Slow playing it? What do you mean by you saying slow playing it?
He's letting Gallup run it off, and he's just like you watch his play right here, Mike, and like he's literally, man, now, like he's around.
Now he's open, right?
Yes.
But I want you to see Dak. When he's open, Dak is already off of him. You see Dak already running toward the bottom of the screen and throwing the football away, not using any of his athletic ability, Ball.
There's a timing issue right there, Mike. There's a real timing issue, and that's not...
I don't think he trusts his blocking. I really don't.
Okay, now, I said that this position has been a revolving door. You go back to that Jacksonville game where we saw the Jaguars right here, you know, basically come from behind. One of the reasons why they came from behind is that corner on this play right here, Mike, like, you see it right here, it's a double move.
Oh,
Mike,
man.
like right now, Calvin Jones is in a bad position. That's a bad position. Because Zay Jones is going to run right by him. And 59 yards later, like he was in the end zone and the comeback was on.
Yeah.
Now, listen, Mike, you know, they've signed Xavier Rhodes. I don't know if Xavier Rhodes, just off the bus stop, is going to be able to man that position. But you know that Tom Brady and Mike Evans...
They're going to go right at him.
They're going to test it.
They're going to go right at him. And again, we talked about Dak Prescott really not being comfortable in the pocket. Again, Baldy, I don't think he trusts the 5 guys blocking in front of him. Again, you look at right here, Dak. He understands, right, that this safety is looking this way, right?
To the 3 receiver side.
To the 3 receiver side. He's going to take his eyes and look that way just to get all of everybody over there because you know what? He knows he has one-on-one down here. He knows this receiver is going to become open. But check this out, guys. Check this out. As this play, boom. Receivers open, Baldy.
Yeah.
Wide open. It doesn't get much open than that in the National Football League, and Dak is already starting to scramble. This isn't good football, and I'm telling you, they're playing Tom Brady, the greatest winner at the quarterback position I think our game has ever seen. This ain't going to happen if Dak Prescott doesn't have his confidence and if this defense, MJ, isn't covering the deep ball.
Say it with your chest, Rob. Thanks for that. All right, let's check in on the latest across the league with our NFL insider, Ian Rappaport. Hello, Ian. All right, we're hearing the name Sean Payton pop up quite a bit as the coaching carousel spins here. Who is looking to talk with the former Saints coach?
You know, the Sean Payton sweepstakes are catching fire here, MJ. We've known that Sean Payton is set to talk to the Denver Broncos. That's going to happen next week. Add 2 more teams to the mix. First of all, the Arizona Cardinals, who have a head coach opening and a general manager opening, have requested and received permission to speak with Sean Payton. And that is not all. The Houston Texans, maybe a little bit of a surprise here, but the Houston Texans have also requested and received permission to speak with Sean Payton. So now 3 teams in the Sean Payton sweepstakes, and you would think that if any team wants to talk to Sean Payton, they would know it is going to cost them. The New Orleans Saints want a first-round pick and potentially more for compensation to allow another team to hire a head coach under contract with them. By these teams requesting and then receiving permission, you would think all of them are on board with that. So Sean Payton certainly seems to have some options, and these Saints seem like they're going to get compensated richly.
Yeah, today's price, it's not yesterday's price. And all right, let's get back to this weekend. Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel has ruled Tua Tagovailoa out for that wild card round game against the Bills. How did we get here?
Yeah, Mike McDaniel being very clear, Tua Tagovailoa has not progressed in the NFL's concussion protocol to a point where he would get on the field and do football activities. That means just based on where it is, the progression, he is not going to play this week. And there's still some uncertainty, though, with the Dolphins quarterback position. Teddy Bridgewater, who would otherwise be the starter, is dealing with a dislocated pinky on his throwing hand. So he is only completing short passes in practice. That means his availability is uncertain for this weekend's game, and that's why Mike McDaniel said Skylar Thompson, the rookie, who's actually seen a lot of game time this year, much more than anyone anticipated, is, as of this very second, considered to be the starter. Now, we'll see if Bridgewater is able to get to a point where he can make his normal throws later in the week. If he is, he will start. But, of course, the Dolphins quarterback situation, as it has been, still in flux.
Meantime, Ian, another QB looking like a long shot to play this Sunday. What's the latest on Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson did not practice today with the Baltimore Ravens, which, you know, if you look at it from a bigger picture, was a little bit surprising. I know there was a lot of people, MJ, that thought Lamar Jackson with that PCL sprain would be back for the playoffs. My understanding, his knee is just not feeling right. He has tried, he has done his rehab, he's done what he can. He just doesn't feel good. He's dealing with some swelling, just does not feel like himself, and that is why it seems Tyler Snoop Huntley seems to be in line to start, but he's not fully healthy either. He's dealing with shoulder injuries, dealing with a wrist injury. He was limited today in practice, while Lamar Jackson, of course, did not practice. If neither can go, Anthony Brown, who started Week 18, would go, but Harbaugh was saying today that he's confident at least Huntley can be out there.
2 teams that just played each other. Ian, we got a rematch of that AFC North battle. Thanks, Ian. All right, meantime, in the NFC North, the Vikings are preparing to host the New York Giants. And if there's one thing Minnesota has in spades, it's swag, my friends.
Go! NFC North champs. You know the Vikings came to play. Close games, last second wins, still they made a way. Playoff ready, locked in if we had to play today. Minnesota, the time is right now, we can't delay. We focus for playoffs, it's safe to say. Justin Jefferson holding up major weight. Just throw it up to him, I promise he'll make a play. A highlight reel for JJ's a regular day. Kirk Cousins is a legend, but let me explain in case you don't want to accept it. Down 33 to the Colts, he sent the message. And 460 yards later, led his team to the biggest comeback on record. Dalvin Cook's been living up to his last name. Cooking defense, treating the field like a fast lane. Can't count on Minnesota, you should know. The Super Bowl, the Vikings only go.
You know what? We will go ahead and include Kirk Cousins in the swag conversation. Only briefly, only because his teammates backed him up on that. Look, all season, really, we've been asking, are the Vikings for real? Is this the week we get that answer?
We had to wait 19 weeks, and we're going to find out. Really, because, you know, everybody was on one side. And it's not about it's not a knock on them.
Sure.
It's just, do you believe in this team in the postseason? And that's what it comes down to. We have seen games where Justin Jefferson, the league's best receiver, catches the ball. Like one. Like, how does he just disappear? Don't tell me Jair Alexander just took him out. Like, but, you know, so the Giants played their Week 16. They played great. Came down to a 61-yard field goal. Could have gone either way. One thing I liked about the Giants, though, is they feel like they can affect the quarterback. Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator, Mike, he showed it last week against Philadelphia and Jalen Hurts. Like, they're going to get free hitters to the quarterback. Now, how does Kirk handle that when it happens fast? Does he react? Does he have a hot read? Can he get extra protection? Like, some of these things we're going to show up here in this game.
Keep it real, Baldy. Keep it all the way real, bro. Like, we doubt the Minnesota Vikings because of the quarterback. It's because of Kirk Cousins, because he doesn't win in big games. It's because he doesn't win in big moments. It's because it seems like every single game this year has been close. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie. I don't have confidence. Because to your point, how does Justin Jefferson have games with just one touch? That should be criminal. You should lose your job just because of that point alone. How does Dalvin Cook doesn't affect the game in big games like he should? He's one of the best backs in the league. He has over 1,100 yards in rushing. How's his defense? One of the worst defenses in all of football. Yeah. You can't win that way, Baldy. They won the NFC North. They won in a year where Aaron Rodgers wasn't on his thing, right? Like, come on, this is the window for the Minnesota Vikings. And again, keep it real. You doubt them because of the quarterback. Period.
Okay, that, and I think that the Giants, to me, they earned a spot to get here. And they played the Vikings. They know when they left that building they could have won that game. I feel like they feel confident. Okay, going into Minnesota and all the Skull chants and fighting everything. But I also believe that game gave that team a great deal of belief that they can go back there if they did